Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your daily English dose. It's truly wonderful to have you here today. In our journey through life, we all experience negative emotions like stress, sadness, and frustration. It's a completely normal part of being human. But what if you could learn to navigate these emotions more effectively, transforming them into something more positive and productive? Today, we're diving deep into 3 powerful thought strategies that can help you reframe negative emotions, all while expanding your English vocabulary related to mental health, emotional intelligence, and self-compassion. This video isn't just about learning English. It's about empowering you with the tools to build a stronger, more resilient, and more positive mindset. Get ready to transform your relationship with your emotions. Let's get started. Our first powerful thought strategy for managing negative emotions is labeling emotions. This simple yet profound technique involves consciously identifying and naming the emotion you are feeling. It's about moving from a vague sense of distress to a specific, named feeling. The science behind this, often called affect labeling, shows that when we name an emotion, we engage the prefrontal cortex of our brain, which is responsible for rational thinking and impulse control. This helps to reduce the intensity of the emotion you are feeling, giving you a greater sense of control. Why it works. When a negative emotion arises, it activates the amygdala, the part of the brain that controls our fight or flight response. Naming the emotion helps to calm the amygdala, essentially turning down the volume on your emotional distress. It shifts the experience from an overwhelming physical sensation to a more manageable cognitive one. Example 1. When I feel a wave of anxiety, I practice affect labeling to calm myself down. Example 2. Naming my emotion engages the prefrontal cortex, which helps me think more rationally. How to practice it. When you feel a negative emotion, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is it anger, sadness, frustration, disappointment, or anxiety? Once you have the word, simply say it to yourself, either silently or out loud. For instance, I am feeling frustrated. Example 1. I'm not just stressed, I'm feeling frustrated by this difficult task. Example 2. She was able to calm down after she labeled her emotion as disappointment instead of anger. Example 3. Just by naming the feeling, you can reduce the intensity of the emotion. This simple act of giving your emotion a name is the first step toward gaining control over it, rather than letting it control you. Let's explore the nuances of labeling emotions further. It's not enough to just say, I'm sad. You can be more specific. Beyond sad, gloomy, feeling a general sense of low spirits. Dejected, sad and disheartened, often after a failure. Heartbroken, deeply sad from a personal loss. Example, I'm not just sad, I'm feeling dejected after my project didn't get approved. Beyond angry, annoyed, slightly irritated by something. Frustrated, angry because you can't achieve something. Furious, extremely angry. Example, I'm not angry at him. I'm just annoyed that he was late again. Beyond stressed. Overwhelmed, feeling like you have too much to handle. Anxious, feeling worried or nervous about the future. Tense, feeling physical or mental tightness. Example, I'm not just stressed, I'm feeling completely overwhelmed by all the deadlines. Being more specific with your emotional vocabulary is a form of emotional intelligence that can greatly improve your ability to manage your feelings. Our second powerful thought strategy is reframing your perspective. This is a technique where you consciously change the way you look at a situation or a thought, giving it a new, more positive or constructive meaning. It's not about ignoring the negative, it's about finding a different angle. This strategy is based on the idea that our emotions are often a direct result of our thoughts and interpretations, not just the events themselves. By changing your interpretation, you can change your emotional response. Why it works. When you reframe a negative situation, you activate different neural pathways in your brain. Instead of dwelling on the negative, you actively search for a silver lining, a lesson, or an opportunity. This process helps you move from a place of helplessness to a place of empowerment. Example 1. Reframing my perspective helped me see the challenge as a learning opportunity. Example 2. I realized that my emotions are influenced by my interpretations of events. How to practice it. When a negative event or thought occurs, first acknowledge the emotion you're feeling, using the first strategy. Then, consciously ask yourself questions to find a new perspective. Question 1. What can I learn from this situation? Question 2. Is there a different way to look at this? Question 3. Will this matter a year from now? Example 1. Instead of thinking, I failed this test, I'm reframing it as, this test showed me what I need to study harder on. Example 2. I'm not being rejected for the job. I'm being redirected to a better opportunity for me. Reframing is a proactive way to take control of your thoughts and, by extension, your emotions. Let's look at more examples of reframing negative situations. Negative thought. I made a huge mistake at work. Reframed perspective. I learned a valuable lesson from this experience, and I now know how to prevent it from happening again. Example. I'm not dwelling on the mistake. I'm focusing on the valuable lesson I learned. Negative thought. This project is so difficult, I'll never finish it. Reframed perspective. This project is a challenging puzzle, and every small step I take is a victory. I'll break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. Example. Instead of seeing it as a difficult project, I'm reframing it as a series of small, manageable tasks. Negative thought. I'm so worried about what others think of me. Reframed perspective. The most important thing is that I am proud of myself and my efforts. Others' opinions are not my responsibility. Example. I'm practicing self-compassion by focusing on my own pride, not others' opinions. The goal of reframing is not to deny reality, but to change your internal narrative from a passive victim to an empowered problem solver. Our third powerful thought strategy is behavioral activation. This is a technique where you take action, even when you don't feel like it, to change your mood. The idea is that our emotions often follow our behavior. When we feel down, we tend to withdraw, which can make us feel even worse. Behavioral activation reverses this cycle by encouraging you to engage in positive, meaningful, or enjoyable activities, which can in turn improve your mood. Why it works? When you engage in a positive activity, your brain releases neurochemicals like dopamine and serotonin, which are linked to feelings of pleasure, motivation, and happiness. This creates a positive feedback loop. Action leads to a better mood, which leads to more action, and so on. Example 1. Behavioral activation helps me break the cycle of withdrawing when I feel sad. Example 2. Engaging in an enjoyable activity releases serotonin, which helps to improve my mood. How to practice it. Make a list of simple, enjoyable, or meaningful activities you can do when you feel a negative emotion. This could be going for a walk, listening to music, calling a friend, doing a simple chore, or working on a hobby. Then, when you feel a negative emotion, choose an activity from your list and do it, even for just 5 or 10 minutes. Example 1. When I feel anxious, I practice behavioral activation by taking a short walk outside. Example 2. Even though I didn't feel like it, I listened to some upbeat music and it really helped to change my mood. Example 3. I use a list of positive activities to help me get out of a negative emotional rut. The key is to take the action first, trusting that your emotions will follow. Let's look at more examples of behavioral activation in action. Negative emotion, feeling sad and unmotivated. Behavioral activation. Instead of staying in bed, you choose to take a short, brisk walk around the block. The physical movement and fresh air help to boost your energy and shift your mood. Example. Instead of dwelling on my sadness, I used behavioral activation by going for a brisk walk. Negative emotion, feeling anxious about an upcoming deadline. Behavioral activation. Instead of procrastinating and worrying, you set a timer for 15 minutes and work on just one small part of the project. The act of making progress, no matter how small, helps to reduce your anxiety. Example. I used behavioral activation to overcome my anxiety by working on the project for just 15 minutes. Negative emotion, feeling lonely. Behavioral activation. Instead of isolating yourself, you make a conscious effort to call a friend or a family member for a brief chat. The social connection helps to improve your mood and feel more connected. Example. Feeling lonely, I used behavioral activation by reaching out to a friend. This strategy is about using your behavior to take control of your emotional state. Let's talk about the long-term benefits of these 3 thought strategies. By consistently practicing them, you're not just managing a single negative emotion, you are actively building a more resilient, stable, and positive mindset. Increased emotional intelligence. You become more aware of your own emotions and the emotions of others, leading to better relationships and communication. Example 1. Practicing these strategies leads to increased emotional intelligence. Example 2. A higher emotional intelligence helps me have better relationships and more effective communication. Enhanced resilience to stress. You become better equipped to handle life's challenges without being completely overwhelmed by them. You learn to bounce back more quickly from setbacks. Example 1. I'm building enhanced resilience to stress by practicing these habits. Example 2. I am now able to bounce back more quickly from setbacks. Greater sense of control. You realize that while you can't control every event that happens to you, you can control your thoughts, your interpretations, and your actions, giving you a greater sense of personal power. Example 1. I have a greater sense of control over my emotions and my life. Example 2. These strategies remind me that I can control my thoughts and actions. Improved overall well-being. By reducing the time you spend in negative emotional states and increasing the time you spend in positive ones, you significantly improve your overall mental and physical health. Example 1. Practicing these strategies leads to improved overall well-being. Example 2. I experience a decrease in negative feelings and an increase in overall happiness. These benefits compound over time, making these simple strategies some of the most powerful tools you can have for a fulfilling life. Let's talk about common challenges and how to overcome them when trying to implement these thought strategies. It feels fake at first. Consciously labeling an emotion or reframing a thought might feel artificial or inauthentic at the beginning. Solution: don't judge the feeling, just acknowledge it. The goal is not to force a positive emotion, but to create space between you and a negative emotion. With practice, it will feel more natural. Example 1. It's normal for these techniques to feel fake at first. Example 2. The goal is not to force a positive emotion, but to create space from the negative one. Forgetting to do it. When you're in the middle of an intense negative emotion, it's easy to forget to use these techniques. Solution: use a simple, tangible cue. A sticky note on your computer that says pause and breathe, or a reminder on your phone can serve as a trigger to use the strategies. Example 1. I use a sticky note as a tangible cue to remind me to pause. Example 2. A simple reminder can act as a trigger to use the techniques. Relapse. You might go back to old habits and get swept away by a negative emotion. Solution: don't be discouraged. View it as a learning opportunity. What triggered the relapse? What could you do differently next time? Practice self-compassion and get back on track. Example 1. A relapse is not a failure, it's a learning opportunity. Example 2. Practice self-compassion when you slip up. Lack of consistency. It's hard to be consistent with anything. Solution: start small. Choose just one of the 3 strategies and practice it for a week. Once it feels more natural, add the others. Small, consistent steps lead to big changes. Example 1. Lack of consistency is a common hurdle, but small steps help. Example 2. Small, consistent steps lead to big changes in mindset. By being aware of these common challenges, you can better prepare yourself for success in building these new habits. Let's talk about how integrating these strategies can lead to a more resilient and peaceful self. Enhanced emotional resilience. By consistently practicing these thought techniques, you build a stronger capacity to bounce back from difficult situations and cope with life's challenges. You become less reactive and more proactive. Example 1. Consistent practice builds enhanced emotional resilience. Example 2. You become less reactive and more proactive in managing your feelings. Improved problem solving. When you are not being completely consumed by a negative emotion, you are better equipped to think logically, assess situations, and find effective solutions to problems. Example 1. A calm mind leads to improved problem-solving abilities. Example 2. Negative emotions can make it difficult to think logically. Greater overall well-being. Ultimately, these habits contribute to a more balanced, joyful, and fulfilling life. You'll experience less chronic stress, more positive emotions, and a deeper sense of connection with yourself. Example 1. These strategies contribute to greater overall well-being. Example 2. I experience a decrease in negative feelings and an increase in overall happiness. A stronger sense of self. By practicing these strategies, you develop a stronger sense of self-awareness and self-compassion. You learn to be your own best friend, offering yourself kindness and understanding instead of criticism. Example 1. These habits help me develop a stronger sense of self-compassion. Example 2. I am now my own best friend, offering myself kindness and understanding. These benefits compound over time, making these simple strategies some of the most powerful investments you can make in your personal well-being. Wow, we've explored 3 powerful thought strategies to reframe negative emotions, all while significantly boosting your English vocabulary. From the calming power of labeling emotions to the empowering practice of reframing your perspective and the mood-boosting action of behavioral activation, you now have a comprehensive toolkit to navigate life's emotional landscape. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate negative emotions, but to learn how to move through them with greater grace and resilience. By applying these methods, you can build a stronger, more positive mindset and live a more fulfilling life. So, which of these thought strategies are you most excited to try first? Or do you have a favorite technique for managing your emotions that you'd like to share? Share your thoughts and any questions you have in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you and learn from your experiences. If you found this video incredibly helpful and feel it has genuinely empowered you, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with anyone who wants to build a more resilient mindset. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to your daily English dose for more amazing English lessons that empower your life and mind. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong and positive.